The Little Mermaid. Far out in the ocean, deep below the surface, sits the underwater castle of the Sea King, an exquisite palace made from coral and shells and glittering pearls. The Sea King had 6 lovely daughters, all of whom sang with voices like angels. The youngest was the loveliest of them all. Like her sisters, the Little Mermaid had no legs. Her body ended in a fishtail. All day long she played in the great halls of the castle and swam with her friends, the fish. When a mermaid turned 15, she was allowed to swim to the surface to watch the world above. As each of her older sisters returned from the surface, the Little Mermaid would listen to their tales of the lands and the people they had seen. She longed to see such things for herself. Eventually, it was the Little Mermaid's birthday and her turn to swim to the surface. The first thing she saw was a large ship. There was a party on deck, with music and dancing to celebrate the 16th birthday of a young prince. The Little Mermaid could not take her eyes from the handsome young man. Suddenly, a fierce storm blew in. The waves rose like mountains above the ship and snapped its mast in two. The prince was washed overboard, and the mermaid saw him sink deep down. She dived below, lifted the prince's body to the surface, and kept his head above the water. The Little Mermaid swam towards the land and laid the unconscious prince on a white sandy beach. Then she hid behind some rocks to see what would become of him. Before long, she saw a kind young girl approach the prince and tend to his wounds. The prince smiled up at the girl. He was deeply grateful to her because he thought that she was the one who had saved him. When the Little Mermaid swam back to the underwater palace, she could think of nothing but the handsome prince. She longed to be with him on the land. In desperation, she went to the Sea Witch. Was there any magic to help a mermaid live on the land? I have a potion to get rid of your fish tail and give you 2 legs like a human being. But every step you take on your dainty feet will feel like treading on sharp stones. And to pay for this potion, you must give me your lovely voice. The Little Mermaid was prepared to pay any price to be with the prince. The Sea Witch handed her the potion. Remember, once you take on human shape, you can never again be a mermaid and live in the palace with your sisters. Following the witch's instructions, the Little Mermaid lay on the beach and drank the magic potion. Moments later, she fainted as the potion transformed her fishtail into human legs. When she woke up, the handsome prince was kneeling beside her. He asked who she was and where she came from, but alas, she had no voice to speak. Even though she was mute, the prince grew fond of the mysterious young woman. Together, the Little Mermaid and the prince strolled through the scented gardens and danced the night away in his magnificent palace. Just as the witch had said, every step she took felt as if she was dancing on sharp stones, but she thought nothing of her pain. As long as she was by the side of the prince she loved, she was happy. Then the day came when the prince announced that he was in love. It was not with the Little Mermaid, however, but with the kind young woman he thought had saved his life. When the prince married, the Little Mermaid's heart was broken. She sat on the beach weeping silently. Her 5 sisters appeared above the water, singing with their golden voices to comfort her. Oh, how the Little Mermaid missed swimming free with her sisters in their beautiful ocean kingdom. Her sisters told her that only by taking the prince's life could she ever become a mermaid again. But the Little Mermaid could not bear to harm anyone. Instead, she let her tears fall into the sea and mix with the salty water until she, herself, dissolved into pearly foam. And with that, the Little Mermaid's sorrows were gone forever.